Uh, my next question is to Mr. Gadgil. Uh, when we talk about infrastructure, India is far behind in meeting the basic needs. Around 40% of the village is not connected with the roads. We have around 30 to 35% people in defecating in open. So these are the basic infrastructure that we lack. And in such a country, the concept of smart city has been conceptualized. So how practical is that in attaining that, and how we can sink these people into this smart city, and where will be the thrust of smart city, the infrastructure focus on that?
Basically, the concept of infrastructure in India probably was not at the forum which we are seeing it for last 10 to 12 years. And that is one of the reasons probably the infrastructure was not understood properly. That it's like an investment and your returns will only come after that. It is not a revenue cost kind of things. And that is why probably we have created a huge backlog of basic infrastructure. When we are talking about the infrastructure, pardon me to say, Dr. Sudhir Krishna is here, but I went through different government departments. There are at least 6 definitions of infrastructure in the government itself. And in Hindi they say it is a buniyadi dhacha. Now it is neither here nor there. So when we are looking at what can be really infrastructure, is that somebody has said rightly, what cannot be substituted by import. It has to be done locally, produced locally. That is infrastructure, and that is extremely important. The economical growth of any nation depends on how robust your infrastructure is there. That is the key factor, that you invest today in infrastructure and economical growth will follow. It is not the otherwise. And that is one of the reasons most of the cities or towns, they lack that kind of infrastructure. And that is going to be the fundamental requirement of any smart city to start with. Unfortunately, it is required, but unfortunately today, whatever forums at least I have seen, the advanced technology is getting driven the subject. That is required, but that has to be used as a tool. The fundamental thing is to create and correct our infrastructure position itself. Dr. Sudhir Krishna has very exhaustively, actually in his lecture itself he has said that what is that requirement is there. And basically again all the points that smart itself has got, when I was trying to understand that smart itself, I said it should be sustainable. M is modern, it should be modern, created kind of thing. Affordable, at the same time it should be affordable, which is for the people in the city. Then it should be renewable, and for all these things you should have the modern technologies. That is the smart in my opinion. So sustainable infrastructure is required, and infrastructure is going to be the key. Starting from the roads, waste management, all Dr. Sudhir Krishna is very aptly said. So lot of attention in my opinion when we start looking at the smartest of the cities should start with the fundamental infrastructure.
My question to Mr. Shroff, because when we are interacting with the industry, even in the industry we feel that there is lack of skills. So when we are conceptualizing a very high-end city like smart city in Pune or in Solapur or in a different part of Maharashtra, or we talk about the entire country, do we have the right skills to attain those objectives, or from where will that skill can be generated? And these are the elements what we want to know from you, since you are very much involved with skills development.
I thought of sort of doing it a slightly different way, with doing a small presentation as to what is the plethora of things as far as skilling is concerned. So could you allow me, could you grant me that permission of doing it a little differently?
Sure, sir.
Yeah, so I will try and show you a presentation on just about 2 minutes. There is a one small 1-minute film of Shah Rukh Khan which sort of sums up what how important skilling is. 1-minute song that he's sung. Let me take you back to history, gentlemen. We are the country that created Nalanda. We created Harappa, Mohenjo-daro. We created the best university in the world, Nalanda University. We created natural ventilation and air conditioning at the Hawa Mahal in Jaipur. What happened to India? What suddenly went wrong? That's a big question that remains unanswered, and therefore, I think if we start looking at what is the situation and look at the small, I won't talk about smart cities. Let's look at next slide, please. Yeah, can you put on the Shah Rukh Khan film?
She gains up the mess and does amazing puja. After a night-long party at home, she makes it sure that.
So, gentlemen, ask a lady who's important to her in life after her husband. Actually, most of the times I think it's the Kamwali who's more important than the husband. So, what happens? These are skills that are necessary for each of us every time, everywhere. And what is smartening of skills, you know? We have a Kamwali that used to historically wipe up things. But what is a smart Kamwali? Now she uses the vacuum cleaner. Now she uses the dishwasher. A smart driver. We had a driver who would drive a four-wheeler, take it across. But now he has to understand how to use a GPRS. He has to understand how to use an automatic transmission machine. What about smart office boy? Can he now be, can you have an office boy who cannot use a Xerox machine, or he cannot use possibly a printer, or he cannot use a God knows what. So let's look at so many things that are happening in this country, you know, with technology and things like that. Look at, for example, we have a cook. There used to be cooks, you know, conventionally, वो चूर के ठोक के चटनी बनाती थी माँ और वो कुक करती थी. अब क्या? You have pressure cookers, and you have micro ovens, and you have, you know, machines that grind everything. You have these multi-faceted grinders and machines that are available. So if this is not going to happen with skilling, where are we going to go? You know, unfortunately, when the government set on this project of skilling people, they realized India has only got 3% of skilled workers trained, you know. There are what, millions and crores of people working in all the industries, and in construction, I must say, we are about 3.5 crore people working in this country on construction industry. But we are 3 to 4% trained and certified. The rest learn it the hard way. And therefore, if you're not going to skill these people to learn the right things, I always say what is most important in skilling is do it right the first time. If you can do it right the first time, things will change drastically. And when can one do it right the first time? Is when he knows what is expected out of it, and he knows how to do it. Therefore, skilling is going to involve a lot of training. Skilling is going to involve a lot of use of technology. In fact, I head an organization called Kushal. Kushal is the first organization in the country that did 30,000 construction workers, and we have been awarded by about 20 plus national and international awards. And what I'm really proud to share with you today, Pune is the city that has trained 2 masons that went to the world skill competitions. It's an Olympics of world skill in the world. You know, every 2 years, they have a skill competition where countries from all over the world participate. And this time we participated in bricklaying and masonry. There were 29 countries that participated, and we had 2 young boys of 19 years old whom we trained in the bricklaying and masonry sector. And friends, I'm proud to tell you, we beat the best in the world. We beat the Germans, we beat the Japanese, we beat the Koreans, and we won Medallion of Honor there. So that can happen if India really decides to set its heart on skilling people. Gentlemen, if smart cities have to come, smart skills are absolutely an integral part of this. And skilling, infrastructure. Everything, if you have the infrastructure but you do not know how to use them, as Ranjit is here, equipment. You need to know how to use your good JCBs or your dumb shores or whatever, or your drillers. If you're not going to use them, you're not going to get good efficient workmanship and good quality workmanship. Therefore, I believe smart cities without smart skills cannot ever happen. That's my contention. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Shroff, for sharing such a wonderful insight on the skills